All right, there are beaches in Kansas, but they are all fucking hideous. Like, really gross looking. Like, all the sand has grass coming out of it. Like, random blades of grass and stuff.
Oh, hey there, hi there, oh there, everybody, and welcome to the season finale. Allie, of You Hate to See.
I don't.
Couldn't you just done that in the? Couldn't you just done that in the effects?
Yeah.
Hell, I know how to do that in the effects.
It's one button, but I
Now you can do that effect on what you did. So it's
yeah,
really bad.
Mm.
Nice, I like it.
This is our year in review episode, so we got a lot of things coming at you. My name's Adam, and I am drinking a $8.70 bottle of Moscato Provincia de Pavia, Indicazione Geografica.
Stop. We're gonna have so many people mad at you.
Castello del Poggio.
Nick, let me know if you see the let me know if you see a demon spawn in this background. Adam trying to read the bottle in a foreign language. The demon behind him now that just got summoned and has no idea how it got here.
I think that bottle of wine, those grapes were grown like just south of Detroit.
Probably.
He's probably not wrong.
This is it's a sweet white wine, which, in my opinion, white wine is sweet enough as it is. And let me tell you, this literally tastes like sugar mixed with alcohol. Like
That's just Moscato. Like that's just Moscato.
Yeah, white Moscato is
usually
like
really
that.
sweet. And...
Yeah. Well, I'm Jeff, and I'm just doing the normal. I'm just drinking Budweiser. Not drinking anything else.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm drinking semen. Eggnog and bourbon, and by eggnog and bourbon, I mean like a
bourbon
third
with
bourbon.
eggnog?
Like, yeah, basically, that's basically what I'm drinking. Because every time I drink it, I lose my voice because bourbon, and then I also have just bourbon to drink after that because I'm an alcoholic.
Bourbon.
Or we should form our own AA.
Yeah,
Alcoholics Anonymous, but Alcoholics Anonymous, but it's not anonymous, and we just drink.
It's just Alcoholics Allowed.
Yeah, okay, so that's what we should have named the podcast. It's called
Alcoholics.
AAP, Alcoholics Anonymous Podcast.
No,
I think we would have got. I think we would have got the wrong. We would have got the wrong viewer listenership.
We should have called it AAP and called it Alcoholics Allowed podcast.
I like
Alcoholics Allowed. I like Alcoholics Allowed. Can we rebrand still? Can we just rebrand?
I feel like it's too late to rebrand.
I don't know. I like
That's
You Hate to
unfortunate.
See It. I mean, I don't know. I
That's
like
a pretty
it.
good podcast.
Yeah, I just like the name of it. Like, I think it's good. But I mean, yes, Alcoholics.
I do love getting notifications on Facebook whenever
From random
stuff.
stuff,
See it, and it has nothing to do with our podcast.
Yeah, we get that a lot. At least like once a week at the minimum.
All right, so our very first topic for today, as we're going through 2020, there were some highs, there were some lows.
95% lows.
Pretty low.
I'd like to talk briefly about some very harsh lows.
Oh no.
We will take a sip for each
Oh,
one.
Oh, fucking.
Here
Christ.
is
I have
our-
bourbon.
Here is our in memoriam of 2020. This is obviously not everyone, because as of right
Jeff
now,
is updating what he's drinking. He's now also drinking Screwball.
as of right now, there have been 164 celebrity deaths, and I am only mentioning 13 of them. So these
Jesus Christ.
are the big hitters from 2020 that I felt like, at least in our friend group, it really hit us hard. So in memoriam,
I'm not gonna remember a name, am I?
in memoriam, that would have been funny if I just picked people that we didn't know.
I feel like I don't know. I don't remember any celebrity deaths this year.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
You about to get hit
You're
real
gonna
hard
get
then.
hit very hard. So, first sip, Kobe Bryant, LA Lakers,
Oh yeah.
died January 26th at 41 years old due to a helicopter crash.
I remember exactly where I was when I saw that.
I don't.
I was at work.
I was too, but I remember exactly the place.
I would also state that was pre-COVID. So
No, it wasn't.
I feel like that's on the.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
January.
it's January.
As of new research, no. But
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
no, that was a rough one to swallow.
Yeah.
March 20th, country music legend Kenny Rogers died at the age of 81 due to natural causes. We don't know. You guys don't know Kenny Rogers?
No, I know who
Well,
he
I
is.
do. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, Nick.
I'm about to get a lot of hate because I'm going to be very nonchalant about a lot of these deaths.
Nick, have you
Just like,
taken a sip?
I don't give a fuck.
Nick, have you taken a sip? There you go. Little Richard, May 9th, rock legend, 87-year-old due to bone cancer.
What was he?
Nick, sip. Nick, you don't care about Little Richard?
I don't think I know who that is.
Nick, he's a rock and roll legend.
Cool. How's that cool?
Nick does only listen to K-pop and sea shanties, though.
That's
This is guess what the two things I was listening to today at the gym. K-pop and sea shanties.
God, I literally.
I hate your
think-
Spotify so much.
I think his Spotify hates him also.
My Spotify's so confused.
The next one from May 11th, at 92 years old of natural causes, King of Queens star Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller's
Yeah.
father, died.
That
That's
is
like-
a sad one.
The only one so far that has meant anything to me. And barely.
Well, Kobe Bryant's means more to people because his daughter died in the helicopter crash as well.
Okay, that's fair. That's a valid point. Okay.
Are we just gonna
that's,
are we gonna leave out this like 7 other people that also died in that?
that's
helicopter
also a good
crash?
point.
So this next one, he's a guy that you guys won't know the name of, but I'm also going to screen share so that way you can see who he is, because once you see him, you're gonna probably be a little bit more sad. Fred Willard. The only notable thing I could put on is actor, because he's been in so many fucking things. May 15th at 86 years old due to natural causes. And this is him.
Oh no,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, no, that
Yeah, I know that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Fred Willard. Figured you guys wouldn't care if it was, just
was-
his name, but he's recognizable.
No, like his name sounded really, really familiar. I was just like trying to put it together. I knew
And-
it was.
He's like small roles on so many things. So, Nick, did you drink?
Cheers.
All right, Nick, this one might mean a little bit more to you. On June 22nd, at 80 years old, due to cancer, Joel Schumacher, the director of Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, died.
Wow,
Yeah, it is.
Nick's actually just silent and sad. No,
Nick's real sad for the worst 2 Batman movies.
I was gonna say, like, let's be real. He's responsible for killing the Batman.
he's
property for
he's
20
done a
years.
lot of other great things.
which one's the
But-
old one that we all love? Batman Begins, right? That's the one that we all like from. That's like old.
Yeah, the
Well-
last Tim Burton.
Yeah,
Batman
It's the old one.
Begins. Batman Begins is the first Nolan
No.
one. Batman Returns
That's
is with the
that's
Penguin, and Nolan did Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
No, no,
That's
no.
his
They're all
trilogy.
like that.
Yeah,
Who's the
yeah.
one? Which one is the one with the fucking Danny DeVito as the Penguin? Which
Batman
one is-
Returns.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one that I grew up with that I loved.
Same.
That's a good one.
Now, this one was also a pretty rough pill to swallow in our friend group. Naya Rivera of Glee fame died somewhere between July 8th and July 13th at 33 years old. She drowned in Lake Piru, or I think is how you pronounce it, in LA, leaving her small son. I think he was 5-year-old son on a boat all day because she drowned to death.
Oh, that's actually really depressing.
Yeah, that's
I
why
don't know who that is, but
have you ever seen Glee at all, Nick?
Yeah, I have.
do I look like I've ever watched Glee?
Well,
Yes.
does Jeff look like he watched Glee? And Jeff has watched Glee, so
True.
Jeff also has a girlfriend.
I'm sure he watched
I've
Glee
watched-
before that
Yeah.
because Glee's done. So
I also have a sister.
I have neither of those things.
I watched it with my mom. So
I can't wait for number 14 where it's just Nick's social life.
The next one on the
That
list,
was never a thing.
the next one on the list really hit me pretty hard. Grant
I'm assuming-
Imahara from MythBusters.
Yeah.
Okay, that one actually kind of
That's
hits. I remember that. Yeah, that
He
one.
I'm
died
waiting-
July 13th at 49 years old from a brain aneurysm.
Yeah.
Brain aneurysms are terrifying.
Well, from the fact that you just die.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
pre-warning, nothing. You just die.
You know, like honestly, one of my greatest fears is that one day I'm just gonna sneeze and just. It's like a blue screen on a PC.
You should be someone who has CTE. That's literally our worst fear.
Yeah. Hey there, hi there, ho there. This next one doesn't really hit me hard, but it's one of the bigger names. Regis Philbin,
Yeah.
TV host, died July 24th at 88 years old from a heart attack.
God, I'm
Oh,
not
do
ready
it.
for. I think I know who like the last two might be, and it's gonna fucking hurt.
Nope, because the next one's Chadwick Boseman
Okay,
from
well,
Black
yeah,
Panther,
here's the one.
Okay. Yeah,
August
that's fair.
28th, 43 years old from stage 4 colon cancer.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, that one was
The
a
math
shocker.
adds
That one was probably the hardest hitting one for me of the whole year. And we still have 3 more. So, and all 3 were pretty big. Like they're known about.
I feel like I know who the last one will be.
The next one, Eddie Van Halen, rock
Yeah.
star, October 6th, 65 years old from
Hey
throat
Nick, can you
cancer.
tell me who Eddie Van Halen was a part of?
Nope.
The band Van Halen?
You piece of shit. You literal piece of garbage.
No, that does add up, doesn't it?
It's almost like the band was named Van Halen because they were all brothers.
I don't think I could name you one Van Halen song.
The original Jonas Brothers, some would say.
The next one, it's hard hitting, and I feel like Nick might be a little bit sad about this one because he's a emotionless whore right now.
True.
Sean Connery of James Bond and Indiana Jones 3 fame died October 31st at 90 years old due to a long illness. They don't have any information on it.
COVID.
Oh, cheers to Sean Connery, an extraordinary gentleman.
I'm definitely cheersing the next one super hard because fuck you. I just guessed the last one.
Sure.
Is it Alex Trebek?
It's Alex Trebek of Jeopardy fame. November 8th, 80 years old from stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
How long did he's hosted? How long has Jeopardy been around? Because he's hosted.
He's been hosting it
A
for
while.
60 plus years.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He got that gig when he was a teenager, when he was like 19 or something. Yeah. They're
God.
still airing his episodes because like they record
Yeah.
a week's worth of episodes in one day.
Yeah,
So and he recorded for like 3 weeks. So they have like months of.
I remember watching his like press conference when he announced that he had cancer, and like him like telling everyone like I will get through this and blah blah blah, and like I literally teared up. I was like, this is depressing. My mom watched Jeopardy all the time. We're still stupid as shit in my family, but
All right, so that was our in memoriam. Sad
Fantastic.
year. I mean, as of today, 164 celebrity deaths. So one of those people was the big redheaded cleaning lady from 2.5 Men that I felt like
yeah,
I felt like that wasn't big enough compared to all of the other stars that had
No,
died.
that's a big one. I think I watched 2.5 Men more than I watched The King of Queens, even though The King of Queens is very good, and I do want to go back and like watch through that.
I think. Well, I very rarely watch King of Queens, but I just felt Jerry Stiller was bigger because of Ben Stiller, whereas this other I don't remember.
I
her
don't
name.
even know who that is, so
Ben Stiller, the actor.
no, doesn't ring a bell.
Now, after that really sad intro to this episode, we're going to something brighter.
We're going to go through the highlights of 2020 because I don't think there are any.
Well, I looked for highlights and I ended on major worldwide events.
Oh God. Oh dear
Is
God.
number one coronavirus?
No, this is in order.
Oh, of course.
So it's not
This year's been
coronavirus.
so long. I feel like he's gonna mention shit I know about, but I'm gonna completely forget.
This is going to be 3 hours of us recording this
No.
segment, cut down to 20 minutes.
One of them
picked
better be.
First of all, the amount of major worldwide events that were deaths was high. There was like 5 of those deaths that I mentioned that were considered major worldwide events. So I've cut it down to just 9 major worldwide events from 2020. Number 1 was the Australian bushfires.
Oh my God.
That was
You're
this year. That was
Hold
this
on,
year.
hold on.
Fuck.
The country,
Oh.
I have news to give you about it. So the country faced one of its most devastating wildfire seasons as the blazes continued from December 2019 into the new year and burned a record 47 million acres, displaced thousands of people, and killed 34. I fucking remember on Instagram, I follow the Irwin family on Instagram, and just seeing them just fucking, oh, it was rough with all the animal photos that they were posting and things of like everything was like losing its home. It was awful.
Hold on. I'm trying to make this as educational as I can. You said how many acres was that?
47 million.
That is the equivalent of 73,437 and a half square miles, which,
How many football fields is that?
no, I'm going to get you one.
For every American listening.
Which
Yeah.
is most of our listenership.
How much is that in World Wars
I'm
by
getting you-
moon speed?
I'm getting you. I'm literally.
How much is that
getting
in for our Canadian listeners? How much is that in ice rink size? Ice rink size is 200 by 85.
you? So that is the equivalent of us losing the entire state of South Dakota.
That's a big oof. That has Mount Rushmore.
True.
You know who would survive a wildfire? Mount Rushmore. Wanna know why? Uses rocks.
Yeah, it would crumble probably because it's not that sturdy. That's why it's not finished. But number 2 out of our list of 9 was Prince Harry and Meghan Markle left the royal family. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex shocked both sides of the pond on January 8th when they announced that they were stepping down as senior royals. That was a major event. I didn't really care. But
I stopped caring about the royal family in 1776.
Same.
now number 3 on the list is going to be a shocker. Number 3 is the COVID-19 pandemic.
Never-
No, what? Yeah, what's that? That's
Never
not
heard. Never heard of it. Never been affected by it. Probably doesn't matter.
The
Continue on.
World Health Organization announced January 9th that a deadly coronavirus had emerged in Wuhan, China. In a matter of months, the virus has spread across the globe to more than 200 million people, resulting in at least 751,000 deaths. That was at the time of this. Who knows what the number is at this point? And also, we have now found out that started in maybe October or November of 2019. So,
I mean, that didn't surprise me.
and it was in America at that time. So,
Yeah,
who
that adds
knows? All right, page 2. Harvey Weinstein's verdict. The disgraced Hollywood
Um,
kingmaker was convicted February 24th of raping an aspiring actress and sexually abusing a TV and film production assistant. The verdict was celebrated by dozens of accusers and their supporters as a watershed moment of the hashtag #MeToo movement.
The thing that annoys me the most is just how completely useless and unattractive this man is.
Well, but he was in a major position of power, so
I know that's what I'm getting at. Is like that power can go such a long ways to that type of shit is annoying to me.
yeah. So the next one is the Black Lives Matter protests. The police involved killings of George Floyd, and I'm not going to pronounce this right, Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor this year sparked a wave of peaceful and sometimes violent demonstrations and riots across the world to demand an end to police brutality and racial injustice. More protests erupted in August when 29-year-old Jacob Blake was shot by a Kenosha, Wisconsin cop and paralyzed from the waist down.
We really should just move on.
I mean, I feel like we should say something about it. No, just move on. No, just move on. Fuck it.
All right.
It's fine. Yeah, no, there's nothing good coming out of this.
Number 6, Kim Jong-un's death rumors.
Oh my god, this literally, this
I
fucking
forgot
made.
about that.
I
Fuck.
thought, yeah, so did I, but I thought it was real. And when
The
you found
North-
out it wasn't, it was kind of like, oh, well, someone lost their life.
The North Korean supreme leader fueled speculation that he was either gravely ill or dead after he missed events commemorating his grandfather, Kim Il-sung, on April 15th. He reemerged 20 days later in photos released by state media at a ribbon-cutting ceremony, and since then, it has been reported that those were fakes. No new news has appeared since.
That might be something we have to go into on Drunken Jurors, but we'll get to that at a later date.
The next event, murder hornets arrive in the U.S.
Stop
Fuck, I
going through.
forgot about that.
Can you stop reading me your goddamn 2020 bingo card?
The invasive insect known as the Asian giant hornet was spotted for the first time stateside when they invaded Washington state. Measuring up to 2 inches long, the hornets can wipe out entire bee colonies within hours.
Is that a real thing? I heard about
Yes!
this being here, and then I don't ever actually remember hearing about people dying to them or anything.
Number 8, the Beirut explosion.
Oh,
Is that
fuck.
the firework thing?
No,
Yeah, no, that wasn't fireworks. That was like
a
oil
massive
explosion.
a massive explosion at a Beirut port. Beirut is Lebanon's capital.
Yeah.
Sparked August 4th by the accidental detonation of 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, and
Which
it
is
killed
like,
at least
Fertilizer.
yeah.
it killed at least 190 people and injured thousands more.
The fucking
Hold on.
videos of that are insane.
Can you-
I like when I looked this up, that was the only one I hadn't heard of, which just proves how fucking crazy this year's been.
Hold on. What was it again?
Beirut, Beirut explosion.
Hold on. What oh, there it is. Oh yeah, no, I think I remember this. If this is what I think it is. Is this the thing with yeah, I remember this. Do you remember I don't know if it's on here, but do you guys remember the video of the person who caught do you remember the person who caught actual video of that like ship that like blew up in a bay or something with like it was like fireworks or some shit? It was like the gunpowder or the powder in the
I don't even remember this happening, so
I don't think this is it. This isn't it. I do remember this now.
I'm efforting.
Yeah, hold on.
look how educational we are today.
Oh, this is no, this is Beirut. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is it. Here, I'll screen share this specifically. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, it was
Okay.
caught on camera by people. So the reason is like you can see right here, it was not a firework factory, but fireworks were a contributor to it. I believe they had boats either near each other, they're on the same boat where I remember reading about it. I don't know if it's like the final determination or not, but the powder that lights fireworks caught fire and just blew up a bunch of packs of fireworks, and then it caught the fertilizer, and the entire thing just blew up. So this is actually the video of the port blowing up. That is the Do you remember seeing this?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. The shockwave is insane.
Yeah.
I remember for like a couple days,
fuck.
people thought it was a terrorist bombing.
Hold on.
Yeah, but like I was just telling
Jeff, save that video and then post it to our social media for when this comes out.
I don't know how to do that.
I remember it was like, I remember seeing it on Twitter like 10 minutes after it happened, and everyone thought it was an attack.
Yeah, that's what I remember that too, and then I remember the next coming days. Like, I think there's actually a couple more people that caught video of it too.
Yeah. There are a couple different angles. There's one that's further out. I think there's one from the ocean.
Yeah, there's someone who was on a boat. I remember.
I think it almost capsized the boat too.
Quite lucky that only 190 people. I mean, shitty 190 people died, but for what that shockwave was,
Yeah, that was
it's very surprising that only 190 died.
Yeah.
The final thing, the West Coast wildfires. Deadly wildfires erupted from California to Washington state, burning millions of acres and displacing hundreds of thousands of people starting in mid-August.
Man, that's just like an every year thing for like the past 5 years. With
Yeah, California just gets lit on fire, but I think this was the biggest one that they've ever had. So
Their forest management sucks.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, but like California is one of the biggest states, and it's a lot of forest outside of.
So here's why it sucks. Wildfires are actually natural, and like if you just let a wildfire happen, or just like the smaller ones burn out, then it clears the brush and everything. But because they stopped it for like 2 decades, there were no fires, so there's just this shit ton of dry underbrush that just fuels the fires now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. This adds up. Because farmers will like burn parts of their fields every once in a while.
Yeah, like fucking forest fires are a very natural thing that happen.
So that was the major worldwide events segment of today's episode. Now, I think we all need to drink in memory of 2020.
You have to.
It's just for the sad stuff. That's just the sad stuff. We're going on and up and up.
This year sucked.
Yeah.
Now, on to some happier things. This year, the You Hate to See It podcast was launched.
Which technically is really what's keeping the year together and what's going to get everyone into 2021.
So let's take a stroll down memory lane of some happy moments. Our soft launch was January 3rd. We went live on anchor.com.
Anchor. That seems so long ago.
Right?
Dude, I just got hit by the realization. Holy fuck, we've been doing this for a year.
Yeah. So
Holy fuck.
So our soft launch included 2 episodes that were originally real that turned into test episodes because we realized that we really needed to practice before we went actually live.
Oh no, but those are still like my 2 favorite episodes. Because I
so
don't remember them, and anytime I go back and listen to them, I'm like,
so
God.
drunk.
you are hearing it for the first time here. Those 2 test episodes, when this episode goes live, those 2 test episodes will become available to patrons at our $3 level, which is our malt level. So you can hear our first 2 test episodes that can't be heard anywhere else
like
now.
Slamming back a Colt 45 or a snake bite, that's what you're getting.
They are 2 hours each, completely unedited, and it's a rough fucking time.
I forgot that we went unedited in the first.
We should really delete those, actually. I don't think those should be out.
No, because
I think those need to be deleted.
We were also in person for those first 2 episodes, so we monitored each other much better than we do now.
I want to go back to being in person, but this is just way too convenient.
It really is. It's so convenient.
It sucks because like it is way more fun when we're all together. I feel like we get way dumber like dumber but funnier content when we're all actually in person, but it's just way too convenient for me to be sitting at my computer already and someone being like, hey, we're recording in 15 minutes, and me being like, all right.
Then our next part of our podcast, the death of Meme Guy, January 23rd. He was 3 weeks old.
Godspeed,
killed
meme
him.
guy.
We killed him so fast.
Also, Chad's birthday, January 23rd. He's a great guy.
Hi, Chad. Is Chad here?
Chad is
I'm
here.
really sad he wasn't named Thad, but we'll get over that, I guess.
Chad's here. Hey, Chad, do you have anything to say? We haven't let you on the podcast in a while. Chad, do you have anything to say to our listeners? No, we're gonna have to cut that out. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that out.
We're gonna have to edit that out.
We can't
Okay,
say that.
Jesus
All right.
Christ.
This is why we don't let you talk anymore,
Loud
Chad.
noises. Nailed it.
God.
So our hard launch of our first official episode is January 31st. That's our creating a conspiracy theory where Nick talks about birds that are robots.
Still
and
my
the tides.
favorite. Literally,
I
my
wish the
favorite
audio
episode.
quality was better. Like, I wish the audio quality was better, and then it would be my favorite.
I don't. So
The
here's the
content
thing
was
with that. I wish we could replicate that. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure there's no way to replicate the fearing of Jeff when he actually saw the crazy slip through in my eyes. It's after that Jeff's like, I saw something in there that I didn't like.
I
It was
think
wild,
that was,
man.
I mean,
Right.
obviously, that was when we like really got like ourselves going and like we figured out what we were doing. Besides audio quality being poor, we
Yeah,
like,
now we just interview people and then talk about our lives.
We're trying to be
Not
more mature and more
well,
professional.
that was
season
back-
two. We need to back away from just talking about our lives for the entire episode. It needs to be the beginning segment, and then just the rest of it is just.
Well, I hate a lot of things. It's just that no one wants to talk about what I hate.
Yeah, well, because you're
yeah,
Because
because
usually everyone likes everything I hate.
that and also the fact that would get us kicked off podcast platforms really fast.
That's fair.
So on March 16th, we launched Storytime.
Fucking God. If I remember correctly, Storytime came from so we recorded our first quote unquote recorded our first Storytime on like a Wednesday. In the Tuesday before that,
Was it?
we
not?
were all playing. We were playing D&D until like 1 a.m.
Our
And
first
I was
story,
we were,
our
No.
first story time was on a podcast that got
Yeah.
cut.
Was
It
it,
was
not?
the- it was the
St.
Leprechaun.
Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our St. Patrick's Day episode, we recorded it, and like literally, I think. So Nick and I were pissed off at each other that day. I don't even
because Adam fucked an entire D&D session I ran.
Oh yeah. And so him and I were in a big argument, and then and so Nick and I were pissed off at each other. We tried recording, and then Nick and I just kept doing like underhanded jabs at each other the whole rest.
And then
of
Jeff yelled at both of us.
Yeah, then Jeff got pissed off and basically wanted to just storm out, but couldn't because we were mid podcast. Like we stopped recording for like 20 minutes because Jeff got pissy and then left and then came back and we just tried to finish. And amongst that, we had done a story time that we thought was kind of fun. That first one is pretty good.
We've never had arguments during a podcast during this time or since then.
So yeah, I mean, we found out that Nick carries a gun holstered in his anus.
I don't want to talk about this. I don't want my name to anything having to do with story time.
I honestly
bad.
forgot until you mentioned it that we even did story time.
On May 4th, so obviously I don't exactly know when it officially happened, but May 4th was our official release of our very first distanced podcast,
God.
where we had to record, where we stopped recording in person.
I think we were recording it through OBS, and like I sent it to Adam because it was on my OBS.
It was
No
on
Discord.
Are you sure? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure we went
no.
through OBS.
We never did OBS.
And I think we had to a few times. Nick, you had to record it because at the time I
Yeah.
didn't. Because remember, I didn't have internet for 2 months,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was using my cell
Oh God,
phone.
is that on this fucking list when you didn't have internet for 2
I
months?
have no idea when that was, but that's
Oh
part
my
of
God.
quarantine and distance.
I forgot
didn't have
about
it
that.
because
It was so
Xfinity
bad.
fucking fucked me over and wouldn't give me internet for 2 months. So Nick had to record everything, send it to me so I could edit it.
How'd you record? Did you just use mobile hotspot?
Yeah, I would use mobile hotspot to download it. So essentially, I used my cell phone.
How'd you record though? I can't remember.
So I just plugged headphones into my phone, would record that way. Nick would record it onto his computer,
Yeah.
and then he would email it to me.
Yeah, because I remember you would like fall asleep during fucking recordings. So you were just laying in bed with your damn phone plugged in.
Yeah, and because we would record late at night because both of you, like Nick's had his job and you had your shit fucking job, and so we recorded like super late at night. I would be laying in bed on my phone. Nick would record it and then be like, all right, I'm going to now email it to you. And that would take fucking forever to have him upload it to the internet, essentially, to send it to me to edit. And I would have to use hotspots, and I'd go over to Morgan's house to use her Wi-Fi to download it to my computer to then sit there and edit.
Yeah, I fucking forgot so much of that shit.
Well, you weren't really, you didn't have to edit anything at the time, so.
I was editing at that time.
Yeah, Nick and I really had the
God, I hated everything about it.
Because Jeff, your job was so awful that we just didn't even like talk to you about any of it because you were dealing with that shit, and then Nick and I were killing ourselves over editing stuff.
Yeah, because I was killing myself for working 16 hours a day. Every
Yeah.
day, 7 days a week.
Was this about the time I started streaming, or did I start streaming later?
No, you
it
started
was
streaming
much
way
later.
later.
I feel like you didn't start streaming until like August or September, honestly.
Is that really it? Oh God. Okay.
I feel like
Yeah,
it's been way more
that
recent
was so you starting the stream was part of the next point that I have on this list.
Okay.
The cancellation and final episode released, not recorded, of Storytime August 3rd.
God, I fucking hated Storytime.
So Nick, now
fucking
you can
hated
talk
them so
about
much.
your
looking-
hatred and the cancellation and stuff.
before you go into it, looking back on Storytime, it was such a fucking stupid thing.
So
It was fun
the
to
whole premise
record,
of-
but so
the
horrible.
whole premise of Storytime was us doing like an improv D&D type thing where we rolled dice and shit. But the thing is, we always ended up taking it way too far.
We
and, like, half
did
of
it
it
like
would need to be
real
edited
D&D
out.
campaigns. So
Yeah. And it was my job to edit them, but I just hated all of it because I didn't like how I was ever portrayed in them. I'll say that.
well, I mean, in the podcast, you're portrayed like we shit on you a lot for the podcast as well, and then
Yeah, but it was
in
always so much worse for Storytime.
in Storytime because we bring in other characters, it got ramped up, and then you just roll poorly as well, so you always got the
That's
shit
true.
end.
Yesterday's
But
D&D
about
campaign went. No, this adds up.
about that time, I also started streaming to Twitch, playing video games.
You just stream just chatting from now on.
Storytime was just a clusterfuck on every way, and I had to edit those. And this is when I was first learning to edit. I was using a shitty program that I hated, and it was just awful. So eventually we decided to like, hey, Storytime's doing horribly. It's another thing that we have to do. It's something that I just don't have time to do. And everyone's like, and then like, I think I didn't even come up with it. I think Adam and Jeff came to me and they were like, hey, we're thinking about canceling Storytime. And I just go, fuck yes, please get me out of this.
A huge factor of this is like we're still learning. Like we still are trying to figure out where we want to be as a podcast.
Yeah.
And Storytime, we just eventually got to. We were like, this is really fun, but we were like, this is fun because we like to play D&D. Like, this isn't fun for people to listen to. Like,
Yeah, I think when we canceled it, we kind of had a plan of doing like live streams and stuff later on, which that's still in our plan. But we kind of
it's
felt
just,
like that
it's
would
just
be
quarantine hasn't fucking ended.
Yeah, Storytime would be something that would like it would kind of be more fun if we had would live stream it, and viewers would then go in and throw things at us as we go.
Yeah.
And that we've kind of thought that would be the best way to carry on with it. So we deleted. Nick says that he has all the episodes on his computer still.
I think I've already put them on my hard drive, on my external.
Yeah,
It's
it's like at
just-
some point you're gonna have to send them to me, so I have copies as well.
To add on top of that, like we got rid of Storytime. I don't think we'll get rid of Drunken Jurors. I think we're just going to continue to work on fine tuning it into what we really want it to be.
Yeah, and
At
we
least for
might
me.
give it its like own channel at some point, but yeah. So our next thing in our podcast in review, August 19th, we officially made our switch from Anchor to Podbean.
That was in August. Holy
That,
shit!
that was a huge like deal for us. Like I know it doesn't seem like something to like most people, but the amount of hours we spent into discussing and like wanting to switch, because Anchor's free and it does all this for you, but Podbean you have to pay for to get this type of like revenue out of it, and like we don't get shit out of doing
We make
podcasts.
roughly the same as we were on Anchor at this point, but
Yeah, but Podbean has more opportunities
Yeah.
than Anchor did. And it was just because like it sounded like such a high price at the time, and we all sat down, we went through the fucking thing, and we realized that the plan we wanted was way cheaper for each of us individually than the one that Adam originally placed in our
Well,
Discord.
so I think I just put stuff out there, and we never had time to like sit down and talk through it, because we never tried to like have like these like big decision things the days that we also record podcasts, because then we're either
It could put you
down.
it could put you in a shit mood before you go in for
Yeah,
recording.
like we have arguments and stuff,
and then we don't want to
It could put us
discuss it when we're
down like.
blackout drunk.
Yeah,
but-
it could put us down before we start recording, or we are drunk trying to figure this out at the end of recording. So trying to find more than one evening a week was very difficult to figure out.
Especially with Jeff Job at the time.
Yeah,
so fucking horrible.
we'll talk about that.
So
on
you hear
next
about that in
episode.
the next year.
Next season, yeah, it'd be a fun one. Had a lot of wild times.
Yeah, no, that was a major ordeal for us
Yeah.
to
Well,
deal with.
fun fact: I'm about to start another job, like a new job, and I might end up working second shift, but I think we would still be okay because I will have days off. Like I will, no matter what, probably have 2 days off a week, no matter what. Like even though I work second shift,
If
and
you're working in an office building, it'll probably still be weekends.
it's still like I'm just saying like. No matter what, I'm going to have 2 days off. Like they're not going to want to put
Oh,
me
yeah.
over 40 hours every week, so I will have 2 days off no matter what. So we can still record. It'll still just be based off of my schedule, though.
Yeah. And now, November 9th, we launched Drunken Jurors,
God,
which is Jeff's little baby. So
I do love it. It's really fun. I know these as of recording now. We only have
4.
3. We just recorded the 4th.
We just uploaded the 4th.
We did just upload the 4th. Yeah, we have 4 out. And they're not exactly what I wanted them to be because I'm in a weird spot of like transitioning into a new job and like I haven't had the time to research them the way I want to. But the one we're about to put out for New Year's Eve, I'm legitimately watching a 2-hour documentary. I have news articles, I have everything, and the research is going to be way better. And it's also a murder that they're not 100% on the person that they convicted for. So where I want to go with this, I think has like a really fun, big, interesting route to go. The first ones that we've been doing are like kind of like what we did at the beginning of our entire podcast, which is just test episodes. It's more of me learning how to edit, me trying to like figure out how to research and do all this and that. But this one I literally found a fucking documentary for. I'm watching it. I'm taking notes as I do it. I'm taking news articles. I'm finding shit. And then it's just going to be our normal us drunk trying to go through it. And I think it'll be a blast. I'm really
What if we
excited for
solve
the
it?
recording.
What if we solve the case?
Then I'm assuming we're going to get a lot of money from the dude who was in jail.
And
Challenge
then
accepted.
Well, it's also not from America because we're going overseas again, boys.
oof.
Oh, but it's the guy's alive still, so it's not what I want.
Well, he's only 46, so or he's
Aw.
in his 40s.
Can I get a country?
No, don't give him anything.
Can you guess?
Is it France?
No.
That was your only guess, Nick.
Yeah.
Then so again, I don't have an official date because it trickled in. But November 23rd was the official release of our first episode with our actual good equipment.
Oh yeah.
I feel
God,
like
I hate it.
that was a big upgrade for us. Was since I think we ordered new equipment in like June, like early June. But
I think it was late May, honestly. I don't
Yeah.
even think it was June.
And then we didn't get all of it enough to record anything like that sounded great until when we released our November 23rd episode.
I mean, this new equipment's great. I love it. We sound very good. I like it. Editing seems way smoother. It's way easier to do stuff with. But I do think at this point we should take a huge time to just shout out everyone who actually came onto our podcast.
You mean my next PowerPoint slide, Jeff?
Oh
Yes.
Oh.
Our equipment is super great, but we should definitely
So
great people. We've met a lot of really great people that we
have.
friends with.
Yeah.
So obvious, like I'd like to point out, it starts off like we build very rapidly in our guests.
Yeah.
So episode 2, we had my friend Peter. He became
My lover.
He was my friend throughout high school. Then I invited him out when we were in college. He drove out to my college to visit me and met these two assholes, and we all got along great. So it felt right. On episode 2, we invited Peter on. We had a good time. Peter taught Nick how to pick up women.
We had a great-
worked yet.
Has been zero help. Nope. Still not working.
You have
Because
to
it was at a
remember,
bar. It was pick up
Well,
women
also-
at a bar. So
also the fact that 2 weeks after this is when everyone got quarantined, basically.
This is
Yeah.
true.
But I remember that episode. I mean, we might as well just do throwback memories of these episodes. I greatly remember this episode, and it was just a blast because I hadn't seen Peter in over a year, I think. And just sitting down, I remember us sitting down at that fold-out table with the snowball in the middle, all of us on each side, just sitting down, and Nick just plastered, and
I was
You're-
so drunk.
Peter drinking like I haven't seen Peter drink either. Just him trying to explain how he got his girlfriend and how Nick needs to go. And then we made it into steps, and then it was just great. And then halfway through that episode, we decided, hey, we're going to a bar after this. And we
And then-
chose the worst bar
Well,
on the planet.
we were all
God.
so drunk. So the responsible thing was to walk to the closest bar, which
It
is
But it was
did.
February.
We
it
did,
was
though.
February. We walked to the closest bar, which is in my town, and it is the shittiest bar in the world. And
It is. It was
and
awful.
you have to walk down and across a major road that is 4 lanes, and it was a hell of a time because it is a big fucking road, and
God.
there's 4 of us drunk out of our minds, and then we get to the bar, and then we keep drinking. It was fun.
It was a blast, though. Yeah, it was just such a fun fucking time. It was also
I
on,
also
like,
remember I
Tuesday.
was so fucking poor at the time because I was just breaking into the film industry, and I had like one upcoming job that still hasn't paid me, by the way. So our next guests, we had a doubler on this episode. We had our 2 lesbian friends that aren't lesbians, Grace and Mandy.
Yeah, that was for our St. Patrick's Day one.
Yeah, because we did our bullshit story one that was story time, and then I was like, we're cutting, like I'm deleting this whole fucking thing except the story time bit because
Yeah.
that was awful. And we last minute, it was like 2 days before we released it, had to record this thing and edit quickly. And this was back when we weren't all that great at editing, so it was rough. That was episode 4.
That was a good one. We had 5 people all talking on the same goddamn mic?
I barely remember. I remember sitting there recording, but that's about it. I don't
Yeah, I
remember
don't remember.
anything.
I mean, I don't. It's just so long ago, and I was drunk. I don't know what you want from me.
And then our next guest was episode 7. My friend from high school, my other high school, because I went to 2 high schools, Cody.
Cody's a
came on.
blast, and I haven't
Nick
talked
and
to
Jeff-
Cody since.
Nick and Jeff have never met the guy. They've only know what his voice
I don't
sounds
remember
like.
this podcast.
And so
I
that,
just
this
remember-
was our first one in quarantine. This was
Yeah.
like we had nothing.
Okay.
Because quarantine had been going on for like 3 weeks. We had nothing to talk about because we've been sitting at home doing nothing. So I was like, "Hey, I got this buddy Cody. He's trying to become a streamer. Like, let's have him on." And you guys were like, "Yeah, we don't give a shit."
Cody
So-
was a blast.
So we brought Cody on, and he loved it. He wants to be back on it. Go to his YouTube, Mr. Cody 24. He
Cody, I
streams video
subscribed.
games.
He-
He's
he did
he's
a
actually
stream on
doing a lot
Cyberpunk.
better. Yeah, he's doing a lot better. Like he started like around that time that we had him on, and
What's his
Mr. Cody 24, and Cody spelled with a K for
Yeah.
everyone to know because his family was weird and named him with a K.
Of course.
But he's actually doing pretty well as this
He is
YouTube
doing
streamer.
really well. I'm subscribed to him. Why am I not getting any of his fucking videos?
Probably because you don't watch any of his videos, and so YouTube's algorithm doesn't show you that.
Did you? Oh, he streams on YouTube also. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
God, I miss Cody. Cody's fucking blessed.
we'll have him on. We'll have him on again.
Yeah, he's growing a lot because I feel like it was one of his like top, like one of the first like 15 subscribers. He's up to 48 now.
He's doing well. I just
doesn't
saw
mi-
him not that long ago. So then after Cody, episode 12, we had our first guest that we met for the first time about 20 minutes before recording, Andy Hopper, from the Brew Party.
One of my favorite fucking people. He's a blast.
Great guy.
So,
Great guy.
so Jeff and I have been on his podcast twice now, and Nick's been on it once. And yeah, he's been on ours once as of now. And yeah, we love the guy. We talk to him
He's-
quite often. He's a good
He's just
guy.
he's a good guy. He's a blast to be around. He drinks on his podcast. He drinks on ours.
True.
It's
He drinks
it's
Bush
a-
Light, which is a little sad, but that's besides the point.
Well, you're just weak-minded and can't accept people for drinking alcohol drinking alcohol.
Bush Light.
We don't judge Adam, and he literally drinks strawberries.
Those
That's
are
true.
delicious, though.
I feel like we should judge Adam for that.
Yeah, but Nick, I'll make fun of you for it. So
Well, yeah, that's because you're a hater. You can't just assume. You just can't accept other alcoholics. Andy, great guy. Definitely check out the Brew Party if you like sports.
yeah.
10 out of 10. He's also really good at interviewing.
So then our next guest was episode 14. I appeared on his podcast first, which then got erased from history due
Yeah,
to
didn't
a
you do that
technical
twice?
glitch. So I guested the day before we recorded ours, but ours released before his. And it was Matt Gwynn from The Adventures of the Albino Rhino. He's from Ohio. He's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian out there. So it was kind of interesting to talk to him about, like, it was in the middle of quarantine, so it was interesting to talk to him about how stand-up comedy's going with COVID happening. But he showed us some crazy shit that got
He
cut.
showed us crazy shit, but he is also a very hilarious human being.
He's
Just
a-
naturally.
He's a good fucking guy, and we need to
He
have
is.
him on at some point again. Just no
I
more
haven't-
videos.
I don't think I've talked to him since we recorded, and I feel bad about it. I feel bad not talking to anyone that we fucking recorded with for interviews and stuff, because honestly, I don't think there's anyone we recorded with that like wasn't someone that we just became good friends with.
Yeah, I miss Matt. Matt's
I
actually,
do too.
It's,
I do too. Matt was
honestly,
also
going on his podcast is a whole other experience, and that's a lot of fun. And I think we need to regain that interaction with him again for us to also go on to his podcast. Also, like he's a super fucking funny, and he's He's
Well,
just
we
one of
need
those guys
someone
that like
reach out to him. God damn it!
I mean, every once in a while we talk, but you know,
Well, reach out to him about doing it again. Ask him like if he wants to come back on ours,
I
or
think
if we can go out on his, or both.
think-
Yeehaw.
definitely for season 2, man. Our next guest, episode 16, Mike Albertin from Games My Mom Found.
Mike is great.
Mike is also up there with one of my favorite people that I've gotten to like meet. Honestly, everyone we've met through podcasts, I feel like I really enjoy. And Mike, I got to go on his, and he's really good at what he does. Like, I can't lie that I mean, I'm assuming Nick can also attest to this, that he's just really good at what he does. And the fact that he's not more popular than I know he is kind of depressing, because he's really good at what he does, and he's a very, very kind-hearted human being.
So episode 17, we had Alex Curcio from RWP Radio Podcast. He's had no episodes go up on that since June 12th, 2019.
Yeah, but
So I don't know what he's
if you
doing.
if you listen to it, he talks about how their like recording setup got fucked up and like moved around, and like they haven't been able to like collaborate since then, which sucks.
Jeff, what was the best part about him?
He drinks alcohol, and the fact that his shirt matches his walls.
Yeah, it did. So then our next guest, episode 19, Dirk Don from Madcast Media Network and the Super Arrogant Bros podcast.
I love Dirk.
I don't think
Dirk's great.
no one has a bad thing to talk about Dirk, and Dirk is a blast. Dirk is
He's a man of the MILFs.
I don't want to he's a man of the MILFs, and you can't judge a
Oh,
man
he
for
loves
being a
his
man of the
MILFs.
That he does.
Dirk's podcast and website
He
company.
has a few
I don't
podcasts. It's a network.
Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
a network. He has a couple podcasts. Super
He's-
Arrogant Bros is his like thing that he's
Baby.
doing. Like he's doing, and then there was the Plastered Paladins, which has sadly since been canceled. We tried to revive it so hard. but
we're
it didn't work.
trying still.
We're working on
technically.
stuff. We're working on stuff.
Dirk Blast, though,
I
I think
love
he's
Dirk.
he might be the person that we hit it off with just the best.
Yeah.
Dirk's just the best at what we do. Like,
He's
I
got
can't
his shit
deny
down.
that. Yeah.
So then our final guest of 2020, episode 21, Anything But Human, the rock bands that you can go find on Spotify. They were I mean, we only met 2 of them, but they were fucking amazing.
They were amazing. I love their music. They're actually on
Their
my
music is
Spotify now.
so good.
Their music is actually on my Spotify playlist now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
same.
they were just the 2 of them when we met were just 2 really chill dudes that I don't know, like I don't know. I never expected us in the first year to be able to interview a band of like
I mean, they're
Their
a startup,
popularity.
but they're still popular enough. Like, they were too big
Yeah.
for us, it felt like.
yeah, but like I enjoyed it. They were fun. They were very kind. Even like I feel like at that point they even knew that we weren't big enough for them, but they were still kind enough to come on, like be
Yeah.
genuine human beings and like
Deal
answer
with
all of
our
our questions.
bullshit.
Yeah, deal with our bullshit.
I mean,
didn't
they
train-
added a lot to our bullshit. Nick
Yeah.
spray painting his beard onto his neck. I mean, that's a highlight for me.
I still take offense to that.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
you.
don't spray paint your beard onto your neck.
Maybe.
So yeah, it's part of my morning routine.
maybe grow one. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Can't believe your company just allows you to walk around with that all the time.
I'm still amazed that I've only had one person ever say something about the mustache.
It's getting there. It's been like 4 months, but it's getting there. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, I love those guys, and I can't wait for quarantine to be over for them to tour, so that way we can hit up them and hang out with them at some point.
Hit them up was the sentence you wanted to put together
Yeah.
there.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah, so just a quick recap of that. Go follow Mr. Cody24 on YouTube. Go search The Brew Party, The Adventures of the Albino Rhino, Games My Mom Found, RWP Radio, and Super Arrogant Brothers, Madcast Media Network, on wherever you listen to podcasts. And then on Spotify, go search Anything But Human, because they're all good people, and we're so thankful for all of them coming onto our podcast.
Definitely when we have guests on, the guests are better than us because we don't
10
we're
out of
awful.
10. Yeah, 10 out of 10. We're not good, like great people.
Yeah, yeah, no.
They all
You
have
should
been,
really only come here for them.
they all have been great people, and it's been a blast actually getting to work with any of them. Like they've all been kind, and like I don't know, building friendships through this podcast is actually the last thing I expected when we formed a podcast.
So
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie, like I didn't think we were gonna have other people on, like talking to other people.
like
podcasts.
Jeff and I have gamed with Dirk. Like I talk to
Yeah,
Mike
I've gamed with
semi-regularly.
Dirk.
I talk to Mike on a pretty decent basis.
Well, I mean, we talked to Dirk
talked
a
to
decent
Andy.
amount, which
I
I'll
talked to
get
Andy
into.
at a decent amount, but
Yeah. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about what you can look forward to in our second year of podcasting.
We're actually canceling ourselves. We're done.
Oh, wait, so just to
We're-
let everyone know, that's
this
what
is
we
the last
that's,
one.
no, that's what we've told Nick. But in reality, we're replacing Nick.
Hey guys, why am I server deafened?
No reason. So for the future of this podcast, we will start uploading unedited video podcasts. So it's just our normal podcast in video form, and because video editing is so much a pain in the ass, it's completely unedited. So you're going to hear all of our bullshit from start to finish. That will be available to our patrons at the $5 wine level and higher. To get access to things like this, you can go to patron, patron.podbean, podbean.com/h82cit, and just donate at the $5 level, and you'll be able to access all of our unedited video podcasts if that's something that you're interested in. Something else to look forward to, we have a new show coming out. It's going to be a collaboration between us and Dirk that we've had on previously from Madcast Media. Don't want to get too much into it because the details aren't fully ironed out yet, but it's going to be a lot of drinking, and it's going to be done live, like actually live, not what we say is live, like real live. More
What are you
news.
talking about? What we say is live is live. Damn it, Adam.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Why are we
my
no
boss is
longer-
coming?
So more news will be coming on that very shortly. Now the things to look forward to. In January, we are going to be releasing a special episode to anyone at the $1 level. It is a Taskmaster special. It's going to be the three of us and some special guests. I guess you'll find out about all of that when the time comes. More things to look forward to, more drunken jurors, and more podcasting. We're very happy and excited about that. Jeff just smiled, and I haven't seen that in so long.
Doesn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
And along with these great things, obviously some other great news. We are going to have some of our favorite guests from year one returning for year two, and with any luck, we're going to have some new guests as well. If you want to follow us, you can follow us personally. We all have Twitters. We all have Instagrams, I think. Yes.
Mhm.
I
I
don't
don't use
use it,
either of
yeah.
those two, but
I mean, but you can follow. I'm at Flipper Goalie on anything.
God, you're gonna make me actually look up both of these.
I'm at Flipper Goalie on anything. So just search Flipper Goalie, And if you don't find it, I'm not there. So, Nick?
You can find me on Twitter at V3Nator, Nator 22. So Venator 22 with a 3. You can find me on twitch.tv/V3Nator 22. I also have a YouTube channel under the same name where I post and edit funny videos of us playing games and doing stupid shit. I also have an Instagram under the same name, Venator 22. You might see a go live notification come up on that. Very rarely. That's where you can find me. I stream pretty regularly, and I have regular uploads to my YouTube channel every Monday.
All right, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it is at Jeff_GLINES6. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at GLINESJEFF.
Nice. And then you can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at YOUH82CIT. We also have a Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/H82CIT. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can even listen to us when we guest on other people's podcasts. To find our main source of podcasting, go to YOUH82CIT.podbean.com. And that is our main profile. And you can either, up in the little right-hand corner of Podbean, there's a little green button that says Become a Patron. Click on that and it will send you to this website, which you could also just type in as patron, patron.podbean.com/H82CIT and join at any of our tier levels. Like I said, if you join at our tier levels, you can see our Taskmaster special that we're going to be doing. You can also see our video podcasts and listen to our first 2 ever test episodes that are unavailable anywhere else. Possibly even you'll hear some story times. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with us for 2020. Even though the world hasn't had a blast, we have. Which I think actually means that we are better than you.
You know what? We're not. Still, after a full year of this, we're not professionals. And you know what? Professionals have standards, but we don't.
I love you all. You're so sexy.
That took a long time to get there.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna cut that part out because that doesn't mean anything to anything. So for this year in review, we're gonna talk. Nick, you fucking have ruined everything. All right, so that was our in memoriam. Sad
Fantastic.
year. I mean, as of today, 164 celebrity deaths.
Nice. I'm gonna get beer.
What
I
is
was trying
that?
to stop you before you spoke. I spoke.
I mean, I'm gonna go grab more also. What a shitty time. Man, he hit that mute button real quick.
Yeah.
Didn't even hear. Congrats to you. You're fucking pro at hitting the mute button.
I saw her walk around the corner, and I'm just like,
Oh.
Um.
Nice.